And with that being said, we won't have to wait long as we see the Huntress. So maybe you're right in saying ranged killer.
Yeah, it's Huntress. I don't know. Maybe it's just a pub sting as well. It's just you always seem to find Huntresses and Billies and stuff on this map.
Yeah, I mean, it's a wide open area, so if Huntress is able to box him out of these tight tiles, it would definitely be a good place to be. Unfortunately, Huntress not able to land their hit here on this, had a really good shot to do so as well, but it's consistently winding up and does get the hit on Meg. But Meg playing it dangerous and goes for the pallet drop, but Huntress keeping that in mind and dropping her to the ground.
That was a bit of a greedy play by the survivor there. Once they got hit the first time, they should have just made distance instead of sticking around for that pallet.
Yeah, I do agree. However, we do hear two totems go off in the distance, but looks like Claudette here trying to be a wee bit sneaky and ends up getting punished for it as she was attempting to go for the unhook.
Yeah, Claudette usually sneaky one. Unfortunately, not this time.
Yeah, I think just playing a little bit too aggressively around that hook, realistically speaking. Huntress here trying to box these survivors out and doing a pretty good job doing so and trying to land the shot for the unhook and just barely getting a miss there. If it was a little bit higher, may have been able to make it work. And once again, very close shot.
Yeah, this Huntress is taking some very bold shots here, almost calculated risks, almost. Just narrowly missing on some of them.
And we see why. We see exactly why they're taking some bold plays, that they do end up getting the hit on the Claudette. So those risks paying out in dividends.
Yeah, that was a nice snipe. You can't even be mad at that. That's just tip your hat to the killer on that one.
Yeah, definitely a bit of a rocky start initially from what we're seeing, but, you know, it definitely shows that Stitch here knows what they're doing with the Huntress, but at this point in time, with no hatchets in hand, means that these guys are in a fantastic position to potentially recover early on and potentially try and get some gems.
Yeah, and as we did see there, the Claudette is broken, which would suggest a deli was used.
Either that, or if we wait a little bit longer, could also be a second win. We'll have to give it some time, but more likely than not, you're probably correct in saying that. But Huntress, once again, taking a look around, trying to get a hit at that gen through the gap, and is able to get the shot through, but as far as he's playing a little bit more wary, or we're just on the other side, avoiding that hit. I also do want to mention, for all those viewing, you might notice something new. We do have a bit of a scoreboard now that does update in real time. That is the final score overall, so do keep that in mind. But Huntress, we do see trying to find someone at the Thompson House and does get a whiff of them, but not able to catch up by the time that the survivor is out of that loop. Unfortunately, though, looks like Giraffe here not able to make enough distance on that drop down. Will be taking a hit and now in chase.
You say that they do go down.
Yeah, you know, sometimes you kind of predict the future. Once again, Huntress with some really cheeky shots.
You would be, it's still mind-boggling to me that you're able to like hit through these like little itty-bitty gaps with certain killers.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen it happen with the likes of Deathslinger before. Huntress obviously put in some work, and fantastic shot on Giraffe. Unfortunately for the Huntress, BT was activated. Trying to get another long-range shot, but no dice there.
Up by the barrel. Tis unfortunate for the Huntress on that one.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a blind shot, but definitely has the right idea, as we do see Meg here on the meat tree taking it, and now we also find Giraffe as well, who does end up going down. It looks like Huntress looking to get the two-man slug here, as Meg does end up at Shack, and will eat the pallet, but will also get the down through it.
Extremely unfortunate for the Meg there. If they would have been able to get that stun off and not eat the hit through the stun, that would have really helped them. But as we say, that giraffe it does manage to get up though, so they're
Yeah.
recovering slightly from this.
At the very least, they're not able, the Huntress doesn't get a 2-for-1 there. And the survivors are cranking out gens, I will mention, so they're not going down without a fight.
Right, we're only down to 2 gens left, and considering some of these shots the killer is hitting there, it's a good thing that they're doing so.
Yeah, I mean, realistically speaking, I will say they are playing smart. If you look at the gen spread, these survivors are actually in a pretty good position where there isn't really a great grouping of gens. So if they play smart and utilize their hook states accordingly, I think that these survivors still do have a very good chance of at least getting a 2-man out.
It's possible. It seems that the closest 3-gen, if you want to even call it that, as we see a nice shot through the corner like what is there, seems to be on that left side, from the back side all the way down towards Thompson House. So as you mentioned, not exactly a tight 3-gen, but if the survivors can capitalize on that, then they should be able to get out with at least a 2 or 3-man.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And being a little bit aggressive here, as we do see Feng Min on that gen, but dodging the Huntress in the corn, making the Huntress miss there. And though she will drop the pallet, she will be down nonetheless.
Yeah, like you said, that was just aggressive positioning by the survivor, and then on top of that, is an unfortunate waste of a pallet there, because it's like, you're pretty much going to go down at that point,
It's
so
one of
there's
those
no real
rough
need
things
to drop the
against
pallet.
skills like Huntress. You just can't really utilize those pallets to your advantage for the most part. And Huntress, once again, doing a fantastic job of getting some of these nice hits through the corn, kind of predicting the movement of these survivors in real time.
My hat goes off to this Huntress, man. They're hitting some pretty nice shots.
Yeah, definitely showing what they can do, but I think at this point in time, the best thing to do here is to probably reset and then make an attempt on the unhook. We already have seen Deliverance used, so it is unlikely that this survivor's going to get off the hook before they reach second stage.
Yeah, like you said, the best thing for the survivors right now, just get the hard reset. One person, as we see right now, I believe it's the Claudette, maybe take attention of the killer. Really nice cheeky shot there, right above the hay bale.
So overall, what are your thoughts on the Huntress's, pressure thus far?
They're really doing a good job of pressuring the survivors. I mean, you have one person on hook who has progressed to second stage. You have one survivor down your shack here, and then the other 2, as we see now, just now getting reset. But the survivors are kind of put a bit on the back end here. They do get 1-gen popped though, so it's up to the survivors right now to make the play.
No, I 110% agree. And these survivors trying to come back on in and get this unhook, but just not able to make it happen, as we do see that survivor about to go onto death hook in the next 30 seconds or so, as we do see that timer ticking down quite slowly.
I don't even know if you want to call it a misplay from the survivors or anything like that, but it just seems that, as I say, that one does go down trying to get the save, but I don't know, it just seemed like either the communication or the coordination was just a bit off there, because I don't know that person should have died on the hook. Like, I feel like they would have and should have been able to reset better, and then, attack it a bit better.
Yeah, the biggest thing to keep in mind in this situation is the fact that it is definitely a difficult position for these survivors to come back from. I definitely agree with you that resetting would have been the right move in this instance. But at the same time, it definitely can take some form of coordination, which, newer comp teams might struggle with.
Coordination, communication, does vary from teams as well, so it's not every team has the same call. That's be a nice night at the edge of the Thompson house there. It's different from from team to team, so it just takes time. But yeah, I think that's a GG. Unless Unbreakable was not already used, I feel like that might be a GG.
Yeah, it's definitely hard to say. Of course, you know, there's that chance of Unbreakable, but the time that these survivors have been on the ground, chances are that it would have already been used. So more likely than not, that may have gone along with the survivor who has already died thus far.
Yeah, I think you're probably correct in that assumption.
But with that being said, looks like the Huntress is going to clean up and now has to find the last survivor on ground before they are able to locate Hatch. Of course, with the new update, Hatch has yet to spawn, so it will give the Huntress some extra time to meander around, and does end up finding a slug unless they get brilliant RNG. Just ain't gonna happen. And surprisingly enough, it was right there, directly to the left, a little bit further there, they would have been in a prime position to get the one man out.
That is just extremely unfortunate for the survivors.
Absolutely. But that being said, overall, not a bad showing. As we have mentioned before and many times again, How Do We Get Here is a newer comp team and is still learning the ropes. So 4 gens completed.